Okay, good afternoon. Let's now create this objects from G1 to G6. So all of these are vectors. Okay, I'm writing here set.seed so that we have the same. The only function here that requires a set.seed is this R norm. Okay, the rest walang kailangan na set.seed dito. Just to have the values of our vectors the same. So R norm 5 means it will create 5 random numbers that are theoretically normally distributed. Pero we don't expect much kasi lilima lang yan. Okay, then we get the class. And you can include the type of also and see the difference between if it's numerical or character or integer, etc. So we have these 6 objects. These are all vectors. And when we run this, okay, so we have this. So we have this vector of numeric vectors. We should have the same values because we set that seed to a particular number. It's numeric. And then this one, it's 5 to 10, it's integer. And this one is a character vector consisting of all the letters from A to Z. Then you have this one, but character siya. Ay, sorry. This should be G4. Okay, class G4. Okay, let me print all. Okay, that should be logical. There. True, true, false, etc. It's a logical. And then we have here a complex vector of complex numbers. And then here, vector of dates. Okay, so these are 6 objects. Okay, we name them G1 up to G6. Okay, then let's create a list out of this kasi sabi natin, a list can contain a combination of data types. So pwedeng ang list, pwedeng may numeric siya, pwedeng may character, etc. So pwedeng combination si list. No? So let's create this object. Let's call it G7 or let me call it H1. Next alphabet letter, H1. And then, pagsama-sama natin si G1, G2, G3, G4, G5, and G6. G1 up to G6 are supposed to be vectors of different data types. Vectors sila lahat. Kasi pare-parehong elements sila dun sa object na yun. Pero, magkakaiba silang data types. Okay, because a vector cannot have different data types, but a list can. So, if we combine them, nagko-concatenate ako, G1 hanggang G6, tapos kunin natin yung class niya, class ni H1. Okay, could you tell me, class, what's the result? What's H1? Kindly chat, please. Okay, character. Okay. Ano lumalabas sa LJ sa sa H1? LJ?
It's character, sir.
Mahina yung boss. Ewan ko, hindi kita marinig.
Hello, sir.
Yeah, parang ang hina.
H1 po. The class of H.
Yeah.
Character.
Ilang elements siya? Can you get the length of H1, LJ?
Yes, sir.
I-type mo length H1. And everybody please do that also. Get the length of H1. What do you get?
50, sir.
50, okay? Did everyone get 50? And tama si LJ, character to, no? Bakit naging character? Okay, bakit siya naging character? Di ba G1, G2, G3? Di ba they're all different data types eh. Yung isa numeric, yung isa integer. Yung G3 lang yung character. Okay, si John, ganun din sinabi. Yes, okay. All right. Now, why is it that when you combine this, di ba, pag kinumbine natin to, magkakaiba sila, therefore, this should have been a list. Kaso nung kinuha natin yung class, lumabas, okay, let me run it also. You should have gotten this. Yan. Okay, so, without running yung length, malalaman natin kung ilang elements kasi element 49 is 19497. So that's the 49th, and this one is the 50th. So there are 50 elements in H1. Okay? 50 elements, and notice H1 is also under values. So lumalabas, character siya, so vector din siya. Okay, bakit ganun? Di ba magkakaibang data types yung natin, yung objects natin, yung G1 up to G6. They belong to different data types, di ba? This one, you can see here sa environment natin, G1 is numeric, G2 is integer, G3 is character, logical si 4, 5 is complex, and 6 is date. When we combined it, when we concatenated it, okay, naging character sila lahat. Okay, what can be the reason for that? Kasi, class, tingnan nyo to. Oh. Yung mga numbers na 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, naging character eh. Yung R norm natin, na 5 numeric values, naging character din siya. Everything became character. The logical values became character. The complex values became character. The dates, okay, May 19, 2023, it was replaced by the numerical equivalent of the dates, and then ginawa pa siyang character. Okay, what do you think happened here? Any guess? Ganun ba lagi kapag kino-combine natin yung mga vectors na mag-ibang data types? They all become characters? Alright, the answer here is that R performed what we call coercion. Kino-coerce niya, no? Coercion. Okay, so that's coercion. So that's what R did. Nag-coerce siya. Okay, ano yung coercion? Okay, when you combine, okay, several vectors of different data types, it will coerce it to the, okay, quote-unquote, yung list in the hierarchy of values. Ang list in the hierarchy of values dito, in this case, is character. Why is this so? Kasi all the data types here can be converted into a character, okay? But character cannot be converted into an integer. Character cannot be converted into a date. Character cannot be converted into a complex number. Okay, so sa hierarchy ng data na to, si character ang pinaka quote-unquote list, no? So, ang nangyari dyan, lahat ng mga data types were coerced into a character. Okay, kunyari, si 0.56, yung unang yung unang vector natin na numeric vector, si 0.56. Okay, can that be converted into a character? Yes, just put quotes there. So si 0.56, lagyan mo lang ng quotes yan, character na yan. Si integer, 5, 6, 5 to 10, pwede bang individually ma-convert into character yan? Yes, just put quotes. Si logical values, true, true, false, false, same thing. Si complex, same thing. So any data type other than a character can be converted into a character. So that's why when you were creating this object H1 and you were concatenating several vectors, ang ginawa ni R, nag-coerce siya. Kasi hindi siya pwedeng maglagay ng mga values of different data types. Okay? Kasi this is not the way to create a list. Hindi ganito yung pag-create ng list eh. If you want a list, you have to do something else. Okay, sige, let's try. I-copy na lang natin to. Now, what will happen if Control C, Control V? Okay, let's create another object, no? H2. H2. And then, kasi di ba yung list dito yung The list is the character, si G3. What if we remove G3? Ano mangyayari? Diba? Wala nang character dyan. So, ano mangyayari? Saan yung susunod na ano? Saan yung susunod na sa hierarchy if there's no character? Can you run that, please? Pakichat yung answer, please. What did you get? Okay. All right. You're correct, no? Tama, complex na, no? So yun ang susunod sa hierarchy. Complex. Okay, so if we run this, okay, all right. Convert lahat into complex. So it's still a vector. It's not a list. So pare-pareho pa lang din pa sila lahat. So everything, so kapag may numeric ka, may integer ka, may logical value ka, meron kang date, meron kang complex, the list in that hierarchy is a complex number. So ang ginawa dito, lahat ng mga numeric, lahat ng mga integer, ginawang complex. How do you do that? Just add 0i. Diba? Ano na yan eh? Let's say complex number na yan. And then, how about the true or false? Diba ang true, mako-convert mo yan into 1. True yun. Yan o, true, 1, 1, which is true, and then yung mga false, 0. So no problem. Na-convert siya into a complex number. So pati yung dates, convert siya into a complex number, and thus the result is a complex vector. All right. So I will leave you guys to explore what happens if walang complex number. That's an exercise for you to do. Okay, so if we want to create a list, then mali itong ano natin. This is not the way to do it. Okay? So gusto nating mag-create ng list. Okay, I'll call it L1. L1. Okay, M na lang, M1. No? Small letter na lang. M1, okay. All right. So let's copy this. We're still going to concatenate everything. Yan. Let's copy natin cross Control C. Control V. Okay, then i-print natin siya. Okay. So paano to? Okay, we replace C. We're not concatenating it, but we come up with a list. Yan. So the list function is from the base package. Okay, so could you kindly tell me what happened? So ano result, class? To convert your set of data, set of vectors into a list, you use the list function. Ang pinagsama-sama natin, di ba? List ni G1, G2, G3 hanggang G6. So what was the result, class? And what's the class of that? Kunin din natin type of. Okay, paki-chat please yung answer nyo kung ano nakuha nyo. What did you get? Okay. Thank you, Kim. You got a list. List. What do you find in the printout? Kasi pinint natin siya, di ba? Is it the same as that of the vector a while ago, yung H1, H2 natin? Pareho ba siya dun sa vector natin? Yes or no, class? Yung print ng ano ng mga ng what the content of the of M1, is it the same? Okay, hindi, no? It's not the same. I-run natin to, ha? Okay. Take a look at this. First, let's take a look at the environment. Now notice, si list natin, ayan no, list of 6, hindi siya linagay sa values. Okay, may separate na classification dito ang vectors, these are vectors no, yung G1 hanggang H2. Mga vectors lahat yan. Itong M1 natin, it's a list. So it falls under data. Okay, and if they take a look at this, meron siyang magnifying glass dito, no? Meron din siyang icon dito. Okay, if we click this, yan. It gives us, okay, what's inside your M1 object. So meron kang numeric na vector, 5 elements. Meron kang integer, 6, character, 26, etc. So, how do you know it's a list? Well, kung kunin niyo yung class at saka type of, let's take a look here. Diba? List siya. Yan. So, it's not a numeric vector, it's not a character vector. List siya. And how do we know it's a list class? Aside from the classification na list siya, take a look at the elements. Take a look at the elements here. Okay, first you have this. This is numeric. This one is integer. This one is character, logical, complex, and date. So you now have an object called M1, which is an amalgamation, a combination of several data types. Okay, and sabi natin, hindi pa pwedeng vector yung ganyan, list yan. So that's the difference between a list and a vector. Okay, and let's quickly take a look at this. Ano to? Notice na may indexing siya. So the first one here means this is the first element of your list M1. And then this one, the next one means this 0.56, negative 0.56, is the first element of the first element of M1. Okay? So parang subset yan. Okay, this one means it's a subset of M1. This one means that it's a subset of the first element of M1. Okay? Ganun din dito. Second element ng M1, third element ng M1. Itong 17 means Q is the 17th element of the third element of M1. Okay, so naka-index lang siya. Okay, then this one is the fourth element of M1, and the first here is true. Fifth element of M1, the first is 3 minus 2i, etc. Okay, and list niya, class niya list, type of niya list. Okay, now, just to show, so M1 yan, di ba? M1, and then, kunin natin double brackets ni number 3. No? Yan. Okay, so what do I expect R to generate here? Ano ipiprint niya dito? Ano ko nga muna? Yan. Okay, M1. Okay, 3 double brackets. Of course, you expect here yan, alphabet. Di ba sabi natin yung 3 dyan pertains to this is the third element of M1. Okay, and if you want only M1, bracket 3, and then another bracket, sabi natin 15 hanggang 18. Okay, let's see what happens here. Yan, di ba? So M1, yung third element niya are the alphabets, and then 15th to 18th ng alphabet is OPQR. Tama. Kasi 15th yung O. Okay, pause muna ako, class. You might want to run the code yourself. And once you're okay, kindly chat yes. So that I know if I can continue. Okay. Let's give a few more seconds to the others. Okay. All right. So when you look at the print out of a list, okay, you should not be say puzzled or you should be able to understand what these are. They are just indices of the elements. Okay. All right, so here it says list can contain vectors, and not only vectors, but also lists. So we know yung vectors, nagawa natin, di ba? M1 is just, M1 is a list of vectors. So let's copy this. Copy ko na lang yung buong ito. Control C, I'll put it here below. List can contain this. Okay. Control V. Okay. Ignore na lang to, no? Kasi hindi ko binigay yung object na yan. So let's create this object M2. So you have the same list, and then let's create here, comma. Okay, we know that we can create a list, diba? Using the function list, by the time mag-create ng, sabihin natin, simple na lang, no? 100, 101, 102. So these are numeric vectors, comma. Mag-ano tayo ng 50 to 60. So that's integer. And then, kahit ano na lang, kahit logical na lang. False, 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 false. Okay. All right. M2 and M2. So what do you have here? So M2 is actually a list of, yung kanina, no, this is similar to M1. However, may dinagdag tayo. So inside the list function, you have another list. So it's a list within a list. Okay? And we know that this is a list kasi combination siya ng numeric, integer, at saka logical. So pinagsama-sama natin itong tatlong data types na to, plus yung unang list natin. So let's see what happens here if we run M2. Okay. So same thing, same as M1, nadagdagan nga lang sa ilalim ng, okay, nagkaroon tayo ng panibagong element dito, yun, 7. Okay? Tapos si 7, meron pa siyang subclassification, 7 of M1, M2, okay? This is 7 of the 7th element of M2, and then yung una niya, kasi tatlo yan, di ba? So medyo nakakalito na yung indexing dito, no? Pero if you just type M2 and then 1, okay, 2, let's say yung pang 7, tapos yung pang 7, kunin natin yung third. So yung third niya, ito na yun. Tapos kunin natin yung, okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, yung fifth. So I expect here to get the true element. 7th object, third, and then fifth. Control enter. Okay, true nga. Okay, so that's how you index yung list. Kasi yung list brackets yung ano niya, yung pag-index. Okay, let me pause for a while. Sige, class. Okay, you might wish to do this code. I'll give you a few seconds to copy nyo lang M1, palitan nyo na lang, dagdagan nyo ng list. So this tells us that we can create a list within a list. So a list is a combination of vectors and lists. So pwedeng vectors lang, pwedeng list lang din. So pwede kang may list 1, list 2, list 3. Pagsama-sama natin yon and create a list, a list of list objects. No? Pwede yon. So when you're done, class, when you have written the code and checked the results and tried to index it, kindly please chat, yes, so that I know if you were able to follow. Okay, good. Okay. Am I going too fast, class? Paki-feedback kung mabilis o tama lang yung pace. Should I slow down a bit? Sometimes I forget that so many of you are using this for the first time. So I'd like to apologize for that. Okay. Pace is okay. Thank you. Esther, no? Esther. How about the others, class? Okay lang ba yung pace ko? Okay, thank you. Okay. Okay, thank you. All right. How about the others? Good. So far, mga 25% lang yata yung nag-respond. Okay, may I have at least 70-75% response from you. Importante sa akin class yung feedback kasi baka hindi ko alam na ang bilis-bilis ko na pala. Okay, and you're the only one who can inform me about it. Thank you. Sometimes I tend to, in my excitement to discuss so many things, I might tend to go very fast, which is of course not the objective here. The objective is for you to learn and to grasp these skills. Okay, thank you so much for the feedback. Okay, so let's move on. By the way, now you can see that we now have two objects here. Meron na tayong M1 and M2. Both are lists and they fall under data. The rest here are vectors. So if we click here, M2, okay, so you have M2 here. No? Ayan, M2 are contains M2 contains vectors. Ayan, ito yung mga vectors natin. Tapos sa dulo may list pa. Okay? So our list contains a list also and vectors. Okay, so let's go back. All right. So let's now go to the third one, the third data structure. So we looked at vectors, which which we call atomic in the sense that it can only contain similar data types. And then we have list, which can contain a combination of different data types. Okay, and lastly, not lastly, you also have data frames. So ang data frames daw, it's tabular, rectangular, two-dimensional array-like structure. So may columns and rows siya. No? May columns and rows. Okay, before I go to data frames, let's just get the, so may M2 tayo, ano? Kunin lang natin class yung length ni M2. So ang length ni M2 is 7 kasi 7 yung elements ng list natin. Now let's try to see if it has a dimension. Okay, dim is dimension. Ano yung dimension ni M2? So wala. I'll explain what dimension means later on. So for a list, it has no dimension. Let's see about names. M2. Ano ba yung names ni M2? Okay, null din, no? Null. So dimension and names are properties not of a vector. Okay? So if I, for example, just to drive home this point, ano dimension ni G1? Okay, wala rin. So ang mga vectors, walang dimension yan. Okay, names, G1, wala rin yan. No? Wala rin siya. No? Dimension and names are properties belonging to data frames and not to vectors nor to lists. Okay, so like going back here, a data frame is a two-dimensional array. So may rows and columns yan. Okay, so sabi dito, yung mga attributes niya, yung mga qualities niya, the column name should be non-empty. Dapat walang laman yung column. Dapat may pangalan. The row name should be unique. The data could be numeric, factor, or character. So parang list lang to, no? And then each column should contain the same number of data items. So let me illustrate that. Mag-annotate lang ako. Okay, it's like having this object. You have x1. So these are the column names, x2, x3. Okay, tapos row-wise, meron tayong 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, etc. Okay, so this is our data frame. Parang Excel siya, no? Spreadsheet. Yan. Okay, so what are the attributes? The column name should be non-empty. So this can be age, year level, etc., GNP, GDP, whatever variables of interest you're looking at. So ito yun, the column name should be non-empty. Dapat may pangalan yung column. Second, the row name should be unique. If you take a look at the row names here naka-index siya na 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, etc. Okay, wala kang makikitang 1, 2, 3, 4, 4, hindi na uulit yung 4, no? 10, 10, hindi na uulit yung 10. The row name should be unique. Number 3, the data can be numeric, natin yan, factor or character. Okay, let me just pay particular attention to this factor. Ano yung factor? Factor are actually character types that can be used as classifiers. For example, gender. Kunyari may variable tayo dito na gender. So ang mga laman nito, male, male, female, female, etc. So we can take a look at this as character variables. These are actually character variables. However, if we're using it to classify, okay, kunyari, we can study, for example, the difference between hourly wage of males and females. Okay, so we have there a variable called gender. So either male or female siya. In this case, ang gamit ng gender is a classifier. So another name here for a classifier is a factor. Okay, so any variable, a character variable that can be used as a classifier is called a factor. Another example, year level. Kunyari may frosh, my junior, my senior, my graduating. Okay, if in our study they're relevant, it's important to understand the distinction between, let's say, ang pinag-uusapan natin yung buying patterns ng different year levels sa DLSU. So, pag may year level doon, kasi ang tinitingnan natin buying patterns across the different year levels. So, siyempre, lalabas din yung year level. So, frosh, sophomore, etc. And since we're going to make use of that as a to see the distinction between these year levels, definitely factor yun. So it's not just an ordinary character, it's a factor. Okay, we can think of several examples. Pwedeng region. So galing ba yan sa, kunyari, you're looking at a global data on let's say, literacy. So meron dong may by country, tapos meron ding by region. So yung region doon pwedeng Asia, Oceania, okay, South America, etc. So those can be used as, although they're character variables, they can be used as factors. So that's what we mean by factors. We'll have examples of that as we continue. Now each column should contain the same number of data items. So kunyari hanggang 10 lang to. Okay, so may ano ka dito, may data. Okay. So hindi siya pwede kung si X3 20 yung ano niya, 20 yung answer dito. 20. Tapos yung X1, X2 hanggang 10 lang. Okay, that's not a data frame. Kailangan strictly they should contain the same number of data items, 20. So it doesn't mean na lahat may value. Pwede rin dito sa X2, sa observation number 10, missing value niya. Okay? Now, that's important and that has to be dealt with as regards missing values. Pero, it does not mean na wala siyang observation 10. It does not mean na hindi na siya pasok as a data frame. Although kahit na hanggang 20 yung rows. So kung may missing values man yan, it still conforms with the column should be the same number of the data items. Okay, clear yun, class? Paki-chat naman, please. Feedback, please, kung clear yung explanation natin ng apat na of those 4 different attributes or qualities of a data frame. So kindly chat, please, if naintindihan, clear, no questions, clear yung data frame. Okay. All right, thank you. Okay, so let's take a look at an example. Ito na yung example natin. Let's create another code chunk. And then let's use a package called Datarium. And so you can run it here, install that packages, or you can just run it here. So packages, and then type install yung Datarium. And then once you have this, let's load it, library, Datarium. Okay, I won't run this anymore kasi just comment this out. So comment yan, ano? Ibig sabihin hindi ira-run ni Aryan. So I've already downloaded Datarium. I've already installed it. I'll just load it so that I can access. Okay. When you're done, class, kindly chat again. Chat again, yes. You can even check here sa packages. If you load it, installed it and load it, then take a look at packages and then letter DA. Hindi makita. DA. Okay, here Datarium, yan, may check na, no? May check na siya. Ibig sabihin na, yan. And then ito yung, in my case, kasi tinype ko yung library. In your case, you could have also just clicked it, check this, and then automatically, magre-reflect yung code dito, my library. Okay, so has everybody loaded yung Datarium? Okay, all right. So I think everybody has loaded it. Now let's open Datarium here. Dito sa packages, click natin to. Okay, and then it will give us the help function. So si Datarium, ito yung mga ano niya, no? It's a package, data bank for statistical analysis and visualization. Here are some of the, I think ito na lahat, no? Yung mga package, yung mga data sets. Okay, gagamitin natin ngayon sa marketing. I-access natin siya. So maraming data sets to. So closer to business is marketing. So let's run here, Control-Alt-I. To get data, just type data and then marketing. There, no? Sa lalabas dito, no? Lalabas to kasi na-load na natin si Datarium. Okay, so I'll just press tab. All right? So the complete code is data and then quotes marketing. All right? And then I'll just okay, sige, ito muna, no? Data marketing. All right, what happened? If you take a look at your environment window, lumabas dito marketing promise. So ibig sabihin nun, it's preparing to load that. So for you to double purpose yung view, no? View marketing. No? So if you run this view marketing, okay, notice that even without running it yet, lumabas na dito, no? Si marketing. What's marketing? So marketing is an object that we got from Datarium. Okay. Now let's see, i-view natin siya. View. Okay, and then as a tab here will appear. So ito yung laman niya, no? There are 200 rows with 4 columns. Ano yung mga columns siya? YouTube, Facebook, newspaper, and sales. Okay, so these are, anong data natin to? These are numeric data, no? apat yung variables natin. Okay, let's go back here. Let's get the class na marketing, and also ano yung type of marketing. All right, so class ni marketing at saka type of. Let me run that. Okay, so the class is marketing, and interestingly, ang type of niya list. Okay, so even if marketing is a data frame, yung more sabihin natin lower level ng classification niya, which is type of, is list. Okay, so that's interesting, no? List siya pero data frame siya. Pero kapag yung object natin just like yung H2 kanina, yung H1, H2, pag kinuha natin yung class niya, list talaga siya. Type of list pa rin siya. Okay, so may distinction dun sa class. Okay, so all right, so while we're here, so di ba andito si marketing, no? Can you get let's say get the sum? Okay, kunin yung class yung yung average ni YouTube, not using the mean function. Sige nga, get the average of YouTube using a mathematical formula. Exercise lang to. Huwag niyong gagamitin si mean. Okay, let's see what you're going to do. So paano niyo kukunin yung average niyan? Don't use the function mean. Huwag niyo gagamitin si mean. So what's the average of YouTube? Okay, I see an answer here. Any answer, class? How do you get the average of YouTube? Ano ba formula ng average? If you have a list, if you have a series of numbers, how do you get its average mathematically without using a function na kunyari sa Excel is equal to average? Plus, ano ba formula ng average? Okay. Matthew, paki-share yung answer mo sa lahat, no? Okay, so according to Matthew, okay, you add all the items in your series, you add all the numbers in your series, and then divide by n. Tama. Yan ang average. Okay, so how do you now compute for that? So add muna, tas divide by kung ilan yung values natin doon. Okay, can anybody suggest a solution to that? So let's create an object called ave. Sige, yan. Okay, sige. So what will be our formula? Okay, so before we answer that, class, let's now also include. So let's get the length of marketing, and then let's get the dimension of marketing, and then let's get the let's also get the names. Okay. Okay, let's answer these questions first. Ano yung length ng marketing? Ano yung dimension ng marketing? At saka ano yung names ng marketing? Anyone? Okay. So, thank you, Carlos. So, ano yung for, Carlos? Okay. So, call the length of a data frame is a number of variables. So, ang length ni marketing apat kasi apat yung variables natin. Dimension is the row by column kasi tabular nga to no? Ang data frame. So there are 20 rows and there are, okay, diba? So 200 entries. 200 entries siya. Okay. 200 entries, 200 rows by three columns, so 200 by 4. 200 by 4 to 204. And then the names are the variable names. Okay. So let's now get the average of YouTube. So, ano gagawin natin, class? Isa-sum natin si YouTube and then divided by what? Divided by ilan? $200, okay? So instead of typing 200 there, what should we put? As much as possible sa mga formulas, class, avoid putting in absolute values if it can be helped. So hindi naman natin pwedeng ilagay length kasi ang length class 4 lang yun. Okay, so we can use the n row, number of rows. Diba? Yan, n row, the number of rows or columns present. Okay, kung n col or n row. Okay, so n row ni YouTube. Okay, what do you get here, class? Are you getting the average, class? Okay, chat please, yes or no? I want a yes or no answer from you. Are you getting the average, class? Error. Okay, how about the others? No, okay. Modem error. Okay. Wala bang nag-generate ng answer na na average? Okay, so ito sabi ni Fuji, object YouTube not found. Okay, sige. So let's take a look at the comment. Sabi ni Fuji dito, object YouTube not found. Okay, bakit ganun? If you take a look at the environment, di ba itong data, meron tayong list na M1, M2, at saka data frame na marketing. At saka the rest are vectors. Si YouTube, nasa marketing yan, di ba? Pero YouTube is not listed here. Unless you create an object called YouTube, okay, which is coming from the data frame marketing. Okay, so hindi na recognize ni R itong YouTube kasi wala namang YouTube. Okay, so let me just put this here. Ayun mali. Okay. So YouTube was not recognized, no? Yan lang natin dito, wrong way. So what will be the correct way? So the correct way is to access not the column, not the variable, but rather, so ave, sum ni, ang nare-recognize si R is marketing here. Okay, so we access marketing there, and then dollar. Okay, when you press dollar, it will give us the elements, the columns of the object marketing. So ito, diba? There. And then divided by n row, number of rows ni. Again, we get marketing, dollar, YouTube. There. And then let's see if this will coincide with mean, marketing, dollar, YouTube. So dapat pareho lang yung answer nito. No? Sum ng marketing ng YouTube divided by the number of rows. Okay, that will give us the average, which is also the same as here, yung mean. So i-print natin tong ave. Okay. All right, so let's print both this one. Okay, and you get, okay, ano nangyari dito? Sum ng marketing numeric zero. Saan ako nagkamali? Okay, let's see. Ito. Ay, mali. Dapat, mali na. Ba't numeric zero? N row ni marketing. Okay. Ilay, kulang ako. Sum divided by, kulang ng parenthesis. Ave, empty. Okay, but empty siya. Where was I? Sum marketing YouTube. Dali nga, let me check kasi. Hindi, sum lang naman rin na-run ko eh. Sum. Yan, tama, may sum, di ba? Tapos, n row, marketing, this should be 200. Yan, tama. So if I divide this, you should be getting the average. 176451. Now, bakit ako nagkamali dito? I'm creating this object AB sum ng divided by enroll marketing. Okay. Bakit mali class? Okay, anyway, let me skip that. Magta-time na kasi, no? So I'll just nagkaka-error ako dito, no? 1, 2, 3. Tama naman yung ano. Sum nito, kanina naran natin, ito yun. Ito, tama. Tama siya. Enroll divided by marketing, sum marketing 2. Ano, saan ako nagkamali class? Running it again. Andali, check natin. O, nag-run na. Okay, so, bakit kanina hindi nag-run? Okay, anyway, so nag-run na siya. Yan, 176,451. Tama naman pala. I don't know why it was generating an error term a while ago. Alright, so ang lesson dito class, okay, when you have variables, column names of objects, you cannot access them directly. So you have to go through the object itself. If you want to get to use gagamitin natin itong si min without going through marketing, you can do that. You can actually get min ni, let's say min ni ano isa, Facebook. Okay. Kung ganyan lang, hindi pa pwede, di ba? Error yan. So dapat ilalagay natin dito marketing dollar yan. Tapos Facebook, no? Ito. Okay? If you run this now, makukuha yung average na. But if it's only this one, kung tatanggalin natin si marketing, hindi pa pwede, no? Mag-error yan. Kasi hindi nare-recognize si Facebook. However, we can still do this if we do a little trick, no? We can use the attach function, attach marketing. So the attach function will tell R that any code, okay, referring to any object after attaching, will have to refer to marketing. Okay, so kunyari ito. Attach natin sa marketing, lagay din natin standard deviation ni sales. Hindi natin kung mag-work to. So hindi ako naglagay dito ng marketing, di ba? Neither did I put marketing here. But I attached marketing. So if I run this, okay, it will get the answer. Kasi ang sinasabi natin, itong Facebook na to refers to marketing. Itong sales na to refers to marketing. Alright? Kasi ano siya, yung in-attach natin. There's a disadvantage to this. Okay lang siya kung isang data frame lang ginagamit natin. However, if we're using several data frames, okay, then this is not advisable. Unless, in the next few codes, panay marketing lang gagamitin natin, then okay lang yan. Then afterwards, i-detach nyo. Okay, ibig sabihin, tapos na yung paggamit nyo, not totally for marketing lang. Then if you get the mean of Facebook again, okay, so dinetach ko siya, no? And then if I get the mean of Facebook, error na naman. No? Kanina okay lang. If I run this too, enter, it will generate the output there. But once I detach it, and then get the mean again, error na. Kasi na-detach na siya. Okay? Alright, so ganun, no? Kapag may object na tayo, kapag may data frame na tayo, you can easily access the elements here. Okay? Personally for me, mas maganda na lang din na unless na marami tayong sa isang particular na data frame, marami tayong ginagamit about that. Okay lang yung mag-attach tayo. But once you're done, make sure to detach. Otherwise, magkakagulo-gulo, baka magkagulo yung codes nyo. Alright, for this one, napakasimple lang nito, no? You're creating this vector 235 and then S character to and then logical, and then we're creating this object df, and the function is data.frame. Then pinagsama lang si nsb. Ito. Okay, you can check the class of df and then the dimension of df. Okay, so let's run this. Alright, so print natin si n. Yan. Naka-print si n. There, 235, AA8. And then our data frame is this one. Okay, combine, no? Combine si N, si S, at saka si D. And anong klaseng object daw siya? Okay, it's a data frame. And then dimension is 3 by 3. Okay, so it's already time class. Now, in the other section, natapos namin tong number 2. So I'm going to post, siguro ipopost ko na lang ito, ipopost ko rin to, at saka yung ipopost ko yung isa pang video. Pakitingnan na lang to class, no? Itong portion na to, kasi maiksi lang naman to. And then this is also constructing a data frame and data.frame. Only that meron ditong employee ID, employee name, salary, start date, etc. So I'm going to post the video of the other section containing this. Okay? All right. So thank you so much. I'll stop recording now.